Hello, chem students. I am recording this to help folks learn a little bit more about electron configuration on an e-learning day. Now, I may make this video available in the future as well. There may be some stuff on here that you don't need if you're listening to this in a different year, but hopefully you'll find stuff that you do need as well. We will go on to the next slide. First of all, my hope is that everyone watching this video has already filled out this note sheet. We did that in class yesterday. If you were not in class yesterday, I will post these resources at the bottom of the agenda, and you'll need to go back through and watch the video up until the point where you can fill this stuff out. So once you get to that, you can skip the rest of this video. That last part, it'll say the ground state is the lowest energy. Once you get to that point, you can stop the video because the rest of this video is going to show you what you need to know. And one more thing. If you do watch that video, there's a place where you have to fill out a chart, and just so you know, that chart is also provided on the handout that I'll post. So again, if you haven't watched that yet, go ahead and watch it, and then you'll be up to speed. Everybody who is there in class, you are up to speed already. So now I'm going to go on with the lesson for today. Okay, so some of the highlights from yesterday, just to bring us up to speed, we talked about the fact that every time you have S-type orbitals, you can fit 2 electrons there. Every time you have P-type, you can fit 6 electrons. D-types will hold 10, and F-types will hold 14, okay? And we also talked about that the first energy level only has an S, the second has an S and a P, the third has an S, a P, and a D, the fourth has an S, P, D, F, and so on. We're never going to use beyond F, so after 4 you can just use S, P, D, F for all the energy levels. So we did aluminum. We said that aluminum, the first energy level only has an S, and you can fit 2 electrons there, and so we're going to use that superscript. The second energy level can also hold 2. By the way, aluminum has 13 electrons, in case you didn't know. After we finish the second S, we're going to next fill the 2p, and that can hold 6. And then after the 2p, we would fill the 3s orbital and fit 2 there. And now so far, we fit 2, 4, 4 plus 6 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12. We have fit 12 electrons, right? This number right here, if you remember, is how many electrons are in each one of these spots. So we fit 12 electrons, we only have 1 left, and that last one is going to go in the 3p. And the 3p, it would hold up to 6, but we only need 1. So this is the electron configuration for aluminum. Now in class yesterday, I told you that you might think that things would, after the 3p, you might think that you would fill the 3d next, and then the 4s, and then the 4p, and then the 4d, and then the 4f. Unfortunately, that is not the way things work in real life. The d orbital type is just kind of awkward and hard to fill. So I know I'm personifying a little bit, but let's go with it. The D type is a little bit hard to fill, and so it's actually going to fill the 4s before the 3d, and then it's going to come back and fill the 4s, and then it's actually going to fill the 5s, and then, so don't worry about this. Things get out of order, but I'm going to show you something on the next slide that is going to help you keep track of everything. This wonderful little tool is called the diagonal rule. So what you can do is write a chart, and on your chart all you have to do is list all the available energy levels and orbital types. So the 1, you just have an S. The 2, you have an S and a P. The 3, you have an S and a P and a D. Sorry, I had to fix that. And now I'm just going to finish the rest of the chart. Okay, I know it was already present over on the left, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to write out. If you can count 1 through 7, and you can remember that SPDF is the order, and that you get 1 more each energy level up to 4, then you can write that out. And then what you need to do is draw arrows just like they are here. So draw them diagonally down and to the left. So all you're going to do is draw arrows just like this, kind of going through 1 from each row, starting on the right side and going down to the right. And then if you can do this, then all you have to do is remember that you do these in order. So you do this one first, then this one, and you always start in the upper left. So I'm just going to show you an example. Let's pick an element. I think I did silver the other day in class for some of you guys, so I'm going to pick a different element. Okay, I'm going to do two. I'm going to do rubidium and I'm going to do polonium. So rubidium has 37 electrons, so that's what we have to account for. So I'm going to go down my first arrow, and that means I get to the 1s first, so I'm going to do that, and we can put 2 electrons there. And then I'm going to go down the next arrow, and I hit the 2s, so 2s, and I can put 2 electrons there. And then I'm going to go down this next arrow, and I'm going to hit the 2p and then the 3s, so 2p, and I can fit 6 there, and 3s, I can fit 2 there. Remember, every time you have an s, you can fit 2. Every time you have a P, you can fit 6. Every time you have a D, you can fit 10. And every time you have an F, you can fit 14. So after the 3S, I'm going to go to this arrow. And you can see that you're going to hit the 3P and then the 4S. So 3P, and I can fit 6 there. And 4S, I can fit 2 there. So far, we fit, there's 10 electrons there, and there's 10 more there. So I fit a total of 20 electrons. I have 17 left. After the 4S, what's next? Well, I'm going to go to this next arrow, and as I come down, I hit the 3D next. 3D, and I can fit 10 there. So now I fit 30 electrons. And after the 3D, I go to the 4P, and I can fit 6 electrons there. So I fit 36, and I only have 1 left because I need to get up to 37. 4P6, and then after 4P, what comes after 4P? We'll keep following that arrow down, and you get to 5S next. So 5S1. That is the electron configuration for rubidium. Right? Pretty straightforward. Okay, so last one. I'm going to go ahead and do polonium. It's a huge pain, and I'm going to do that rather quickly, but yeah, hopefully it'll go well. So we're going to start with 1s, and we can fit 2, then 2s, and we can fit 2, 2p, and we can fit 6. Now, I could space between these, right? I'm kind of jamming these together a little bit, so I'll try to space it out a little bit more since it's easier. After 2p, I'm going to do 3s, and I can fit 2 there. And then I'm going to do 3p, and I can fit 6 there. I'm just following my diagonals. And after 3p, I'm going to do 4s, and I'm put 2 there. And after 4s, maybe I should start crossing these off as I go. I wouldn't necessarily do that if I were you, because then you won't be able to read your chart anymore. But I already got the 4s. And after the 4s comes 3d, and I can fit 10 there, so I'm going to just cross that off. And after 3d comes 4p, I can fit 6 there, so I'm going to cross that off. And then the 5s, I can fit 2 there, and I've crossed that off. So far, I'm at 38. So I have to get up to 83. This is polonium, right? 83. Okay, so after 5s, what comes next? 4d. And I can fit 10 there. And after 4d, I'm going to fit 5p. I can put 6 there. And after 5p, I'm going to go to 6s, and I can fit 2 there. So if I were counting, just a minute. Okay, I'm at 56, so I've got some more to go. After 6s, the next thing is 4f. Now I'm running out of space here, so I'm going to go on to the next line, 4f, and I can fit 14 there. So now all of a sudden I'm up to 70. Okay, so we're getting close. After 4f comes 5d, and I can fit 10 there. So now I'm up to 80, and all I have to do is get to 83. After 5d, I'm going to scratch that off, comes 6p. And 6p will hold 6, but I'm already up to 80, and I only have 83. So even though it could hold 6, I only need 3, and I'm going to put a little 3 there. So that is my electron configuration, for polonium. Okay, before I wrap up, I'm going to give you the link that you will need if you want to sign up for an element for the Element Mini project. It's going to pop on your screen in just a minute. Okay, so here is the link right here. You have to enter it in exactly like this. The caps do matter, so that W has to be lowercase and the D and the V have to be uppercase, but if you enter that, you should be able to get to the sign up for the Element project if you want. You don't have to sign up today, but there it is if you want. All right, so now it's gone. Anyway, I hope that this was useful and that you are comfortable doing a couple of electron configurations. There will be 2 that I'm asking you to do as a quick response to today's assignment, and I hope that it won't take you too long and that you have a super day. All right, see you guys tomorrow.